Support WrestleTalk!
Hello and welcome to the WrestleTalk News. I'm Ollie Davis, and today's episode is sponsored by NordVPN. Check out www.nordvpn.com/WrestleTalk to get 75% off a 3-year plan. But what's a VPN? Is it like an NXT? Not even close, Mr. McMahon. VPN stands for Virtual Private Network, which means you can trick the internet into thinking your computer is in another country, which isn't just useful for your online privacy, as it stops hackers and spies from seeing your data. It also lets you use streaming services exclusive to other countries, which means you can use NordVPN to access wrestling streaming services all around the world. And finally, I can catch up on my favorite North Korean soap opera, Kim Jong-un and his sexy haircut. And for a limited time, you can get 75% off a 3-year plan at nordvpn.com/WrestleTalk, which makes your subscription just $2.99 a month, letting you browse securely on all your devices, computers, tablets, phones and all. And as an added bonus for a short time, use the code WrestleTalk to get an extra month of Nord free.
VPN!
NordVPN! Once again, get all those discounts at nordvpn.com/WrestleTalk. Please use that link as it helps support WrestleTalk, and it'll genuinely also make your online world much more secure. This week has seen Vince McMahon's latest genius idea to fix WWE's ratings crisis, the wildcard rule, where a limited number of wrestlers can turn up on the opposite show each week because brand split LOL. This is reportedly because of pressure from the TV networks that have deals for WWE programming, the USA Network and Fox, as both Raw and SmackDown have received record low viewership figures following WrestleMania 35. McMahon's on-air character, as a result, appears to have turned into a self-deluded egomaniac heel. According to the Twitter thread from @Alan_cheapshot though, a little bit of that could be based on real life, as a collection of the craziest alleged Vince stories told by his colleagues over the years has gone viral, most of which include toilet humour. JR once farted in a car with Gerald Briscoe, which made Briscoe start gagging and throwing up. Vince heard about that, so backstage at Raw one night, he tried to fart and make Briscoe puke. It backfired and Vince pooped in his pants. He then had to go out to the ring and do a promo. JR said that all the production people in his headphones told him about it and that they were instructed to keep the camera shots above Vince's waistline for the entire promo. Others continue in a less toilet-focused but still very much mean backstage prankster theme. One time Vince got drunk and urinated on Ric Flair's hotel bed. Vince once raced former WWE writer Court Bauer on an open highway. Vince boxed in Court so that Court was heading straight for road construction. Court had to slam on the brakes to avoid an accident. Vince sped off, having won the race by almost killing a guy. And Vince, as a prank, had real police arrest Jonathan Coachman for running a betting pool at work. Great betting pool, Coachman! Coach said when the cop car finally turned around and brought him back to WWE HQ, he openly wept in relief and rage. Be a star. But not all the stories are so mean-spirited, as one recounts McMahon's softer side. Mr. Fuji was in bad shape health-wise and financially, but he wouldn't come to see Vince and ask for help. When Vince found out from one of the agents, he sent Al Hebner with a large bag filled with money to Mr. Fuji's house. My personal favourite story, however, is from Paul Heyman on Vince's rather obsessive grooming tactics. Vince supposedly has a world-class thick beard, but shaves constantly. Heyman asked Vince why he doesn't just let the beard out and save himself the trouble. Vince's answer: I can't let him win. Vince is so competitive, he's got a rivalry with his own face. It's something I understand well, something I feel is similar inside me, that there's something trying to get out, something sexy. I just don't know how to stop it. But as competitive as Vince may be, he's no cerebral assassin. Shortly before Vince revealed the new wildcard rule on Monday night, his very own son-in-law and WWE's Executive Vice President of Talent, Live Events and Creative, Triple H, reportedly liked this fan tweet from May the 4th. Vince McMahon, maybe the problem with the Raw and SmackDown ratings isn't due to wrestlers injured, it's that you put confusing and pointless storylines. Although it wouldn't hurt if you gave your wrestlers insurance, just a thought. Steph trips WWE. Hunter apparently unliked that tweet just 3 hours after liking it, so the post no longer appears under the favorites tab on his account, which was originally publicized by wrestling journalist David Bixenspan with the insightful caption, lol. Triple H removing the liked tweet so quickly implies it was a mistake, potentially revealing his true frustration with Vince, who's reportedly behind frequent last-minute rewrites of WWE programming, hampering the long-term booking that Hunter so obviously favors in NXT. An example being during February's sudden main roster call-ups of Ricochet, Aleister Black, Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano, ruining years of careful NXT storytelling in its celebrated main event feud. Dave Meltzer reported at the time Triple H was caught unaware by Vince's plans here, suddenly losing the 4 guys he had built NXT around. The critique of WWE not providing its wrestlers with health insurance transcends the relatively minor quibbles of wrestling booking though, and enters the very significant and controversial realm of unionization and the independent contractor status of WWE performers, making Triple H's like even more intriguing. But this is pro wrestling, so it could also most definitely be a work, potentially being the start of the often fantasy book storyline of Hunter's hostile corporate takeover of WWE from McMahon. And it's always important to remember that Triple H is the game, and this could all be part of a larger real-life game of backstage politics, making a semi-public statement to those also frustrated in the company. Check out www.nordvpn.com/WrestleTalk to get 75% off a 3-year plan. Click the link in the video description below to go right there now. And could the brand split be ending? Click the video to the right to find out. I've been Ollie Davis, and that was wrestling.